this issue. When yesterday we saw those allegations, those misleading information circulating from the Department of Lands that something has happened, we felt very bad. And this should go to record. I hear people speaking about disputes about boundaries in Kalama, in Konza, but it should be put in record that in 2010, public participation was done, and signatures were taken, and IBC was asking us whether we want to be in Makueni, and we refused. So the actions of people of Makueni, because one, we don't know who is pushing for the lands from Kimutwa, Katumani, Yaida, all the way to Konza to be pushed to Makueni, which is over 30 kilometers away, instead of people assessing. The purpose of devolution was to bring services near. How are you going to convince somebody from Katumani, which is less than 3 kilometers from Machakos town, to go to 30 kilometers away in order to get their title deeds? We know this is a ploy, it is political, and because the people of Makueni for such a long time, you've taken us people of Machakos for granted. We know the ploy is led by some leaders, and it is led in a bid for the next IBC boundaries review. But we are going to tell you that there is no hinge, and I'm reiterating what CS has said. There is no single centimeter that is meant for Kalama will be taken away. And as you have heard the Honorable Wangangani articulate very well, that we have been having conversation. And we've not been talking in the media, and we've been having a conversation and talking about where Kalama is supposed to be. But because there seems to be some people with vested interests, we want to say that we know where Kalama is. We don't have boundary dispute, as the letter was verbatim. I was born in Kimutwa. We've been in Central. We've been in Central Division for the longest time. So how do you just wake up in the morning, seated in Nairobi, you've never been in Kalama, you don't know Kalama, and then you just wake up and do things in your own? We've seen, even when we are having events. The other day, the president was coming in Konza City, and we went there, even with our CCM finance, with member of parliament, and they sidelined us. They never even gave the area MP a single word to say hi, and because it is a ploy. And even we want to invoke the president. Don't be used by anyone. Don't be coined by anyone. We want to stop this matter, and we are going, as people of Kalama, atutakubali. Ni asia kanama balua la meku circulate. Kuone tuonie balua.
That yes, indeed, the county government of Machakos has variously engaged with the Ministry of Lands and the national government on this matter of Konza. A time has come when we as a government assure our people that not an inch of that landmass constitutionally and territorially defined as Machakos County will be ceded to anybody. That is bankable. We are not moving 1 inch. And if it means populating the corridors of justice so that that doesn't happen, then we will do it for our people. That is the position, as it were. Thank you.
Thank you.
So that the decision was reached without involving the county government of Machakos, and requested the issues be addressed within the applicable confines of the law. So in light of the above,
as the county government of Machakos, we have demanded that the Ministry of Lands immediately halts the entire exercise of transfer of land records from Machakos Registry to Water Registry altogether until a consultative meeting involving all the stakeholders is held to resolve the matter once and for all. We have also subsequently instructed our lawyers to move to court immediately to have the matter conclusively handled. And thirdly, we call upon the national government to move swiftly and constitute an independent task force in line with Article 188 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 to deal with boundary issues across the country. I wish to assure the residents of Machakos that the governor of Machakos has been seized of this matter for several months now, and there has been communication between the county government and the national government, the relevant state department regarding this matter, and we shall avail to you letters confirming of such communication that has been happening. Nafikiri we will public participation exercise that was conducted by the CS, the PS, or even the governor of Makweni regarding their need to have these parcels moved to Wote. If anybody wants some residents of Machakos to belong to their county, the procedure is clear in law. Let them follow the process, but let them, in the meantime, respect the jurisdiction that the law placed under the leadership of Machakos. The other matter is, we have these documents available. The report that I said, the Senate report about the interministerial report that was done in 2014, that clearly explained about the demarcation of the Konza city and its environs. There is a letter of the response that we got from the CS about our commitment not to interfere with the area, but we are surprised that a junior officer in the ministry is contradicting our earlier position. We have with us also the letter that we have sent to the IEBC and IGRTC for public reference. We also have with us the letter that the CS originally wrote to the minister, informing about the information that we had already gathered at that time, back in September. And finally, we also have the letter that the governor herself, Governor Vinyandeti, wrote to the CS, clearly telling them they should not proceed. You can clearly see it was the governor herself who wrote this letter, telling them to desist from interfering with this matter. We will have public forums to further sensitize our people. Those that feel that they want our areas, they can come and engage the people of Kimutua. The decision for Kimutua and Konza to be in Machakos was done in 2010 and done conclusively. And even before then, we had a decision in 1997 under the leadership of President Moi, when the people of Kimutua and Konza clearly expressed their wish to stay within Machakos County. You cannot move people who are 2 kilometers from the headquarters to 55, 60 kilometers away for services. It's just unfair. Let the minister and his PS and the officers come to ground and confirm what they are trying to do. Asante. We are here to issue an immediate press release regarding the transfer of lands records from Machakos Registry to Water Registry for the disputed areas within the boundary between Machakos and Makweni counties along the Konza Kimutua area. This press release comes in full cognizance of Our Excellency the Governor, who has issued this instruction. So we go as follows. Konza is in Machakos County, and nobody will move an inch of land from within the jurisdiction of the county government of Machakos. In December 2014, there was an interministerial report to the Senate on the demarcation of Konza city boundary by the Standing Committee on Lands and Natural Resources, clearly settling the matter of boundary around Konza. Reference is hereby made to an internal memo, reference SLDP, /1/1/4, within the State Department for Lands and Fiscal Planning, the Ministry of National Government, dated the 19th of November 2024 by one M.A. Maalim, who is the Secretary of Administration in the ministry. And the letter had been copied to the Cabinet Secretary and the Principal Secretary, indicating that there was a discussion that approved the transfer of land records from Machakos Land Registry to Wote Land Registry. The memo sought to have the movement of the land records effected by the 30th of December 2024. The memo has elicited huge public attention since it is sought to effectively alter the boundaries of Machakos County through the back door without following the requisite legal processes and procedures as outlined in the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and the adjoining statutes. There has been a spirited attempt to move Konza to Makueni, and the Ministry of Lands appears to be the latest enabler following the ulterior actions via the said memo. On the 5th of September 2024, the County Secretary of Machakos, he is here with me, he will confirm, he wrote to the Cabinet Secretary of Lands objecting to information that had been shared widely and circulated in the social media about a meeting between the Governor of Makueni and the CS of Lands, Halis Wahome, on the 28th of August 2024, where they erroneously resolved that land records for Malili and Aimima Kilungu, currently housed in Machakos, be moved to Wote. On the 23rd of September this year, Her Excellency the Governor of Machakos, Wavinya Ndeti, wrote to the CS of Lands again on the same matter, requesting her to put the matter in abeyance and follow the right procedure in handling the whole issue. Consequently, on the 25th of November this year also, the County Government of Machakos wrote to the Independent Elections and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, and the Intergovernmental Relations and Technical Committee, requesting them to intervene and resolve the emerging boundary dispute and conclusively resolve it. For the benefit of Machakos residents and the public in general, the Cabinet Secretary for Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development, through a letter to Her Excellency the Governor on the 27th of this month of November 2024, committed and assured that she will not be dealing with a boundary dispute between the two counties, and any area of dispute will be considered for settlement between the two counties. Wa Mudhanga, Kuma, Ungua, County Government ya Machakos. Na mayenda methena conclusively kana tuende kotindu kwate utuyo wa kungamia undozu ndini mayatiania na mubango wa kisheria ingi niteukulia independent task force in line with Article 188 of the Constitution of 2010 kilungu cha yana miongo nana niteukulia select available to the public nikenda usikuti yanitwa clear forefront on this matter engaged nienda umudhocha unless we na makuli make some remarks na pia bahati na MCA wa Kiliombu
Very
tuthikilome na tuikuima kuweni na tuikuibandu ugala me kuthima mwithi tayari MCA na representative wanu twaida tuikanania kalama kimutwa kiba twaida tuikanania konza leba bai mundu no mwe twaida tuikanania nandu kuya konza mutambo.
Yes, asante. Asante. Kusha na
that is it.
And of course, there has been a lot of misleading information.
a letter or masturbator to the